Welcome to episode 1 of the Friends2Gether podcast. You join us in January 2024. I wish I knew what the date was. Is it the 14th, 15th? 16th. Oh wow, the month's getting away from us. It seems like only yesterday it was Christmas. We are going to discuss first of all here, one of our guests. Well, I should introduce who's in the room, shouldn't I, first of all? So hello Sonia, do you want to say hello to the...
Hello everybody, I hope your new year is going well.
And we've got our guest Sonia and we've got our guest Molly, my colleague Molly. So do you want to say hello, Molly?
Hello everybody, Happy New Year. Can we still say Happy New Year on the 16th?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. There's no statute of limitation, is there, on that one? If you haven't seen Sonia before, have you seen her in the new year?
I haven't seen Sonia.
No, well, there you go. Happy New Year to you, Molly.
There you go. Now the dignitaries are concluded, we'll get on with the podcast. Now, before we began filming today, we were talking about one of my favourite subjects, which bizarrely is rats. Everyone in the office thinks I'm obsessed with rats just because I talk about rats a lot. I don't think I do, but I'm quite intrigued by rats actually, because despite the common misconceptions about them, they're quite a clean animal and they're quite a loyal pack animal, and they're one of the only animals, me and you have discussed this before, Sonia, haven't we, that if someone turns on one of their pack, they don't run away and leave it on its own. It's one of the only animals that comes together as a pack to fight off the bigger animal. They won't abandon their animal. It's one of the only animals that does that.
They're very clever.
Very clever as well. Michael Jackson famously sang a song about one, didn't he? Ben, the two of us, which we tried doing at our jamming group the other day.
What is that song?
Ben. Have you not heard Ben?
Is that a song about a rat?
Yeah, he wrote a song about his pet rat.
Yeah.
When he's a little boy, Jackson 5 is a song called Ben, about his pet rat.
I think you should play me that song.
Yeah, we'll send a link to that, Molly, so you can check that on. It's a nice ballad, isn't it? When he's a little boy, nice high voice, very famous song.
There you go, learn something.
His only
new
friend. His only little friend.
What else do we know about rats?
A group of rats is actually called a mischief.
Oh, nice.
Which is nice, very appropriate, isn't it?
I think it's the tails for me. I don't like the
tails.
No.
Hold that thought. The reason we're talking about rats today is because we were just discussing... Well, we'll be discussing rats. I don't actually know. Can you remember? I can't remember why.
I think Molly was talking about having...
Oh, that's right, Glisglis. Yeah, potentially got Glisglis in the house.
Potentially.
You'll find out tomorrow.
And then Sonia mentioned that she had... a visitor in her house recently, and we were going to save until the red light was on and we were running to talk about that incident. So Sonia, do you want to tell the story, the background to the discovery? So what was the build up to the incident?
Well, it's been going on for a little while, but I thought it was mice in the loft. We live surrounded by fields, so come the colder weather, they move in. They're only just trying to survive. They move into the house, trying to keep warm, and like any creature would. And anyway, I heard this scratching around sort of the early hours of one morning, and I thought, well, I really must get my live, because I use live mice, mouse traps.
Humane ones? Or
humane ones, where you capture them live. I found peanut butter is a really good enticement to get them in there, because they like that. Or chocolate is another one. Yeah,
chocolate's really good. I caught a mouse once with a chocolate eclair.
She didn't say eclair, she just said chocolate, John.
It was from Darville's. That shows how nice their chocolate eclairs were.
Oh, that's so funny.
As featured in Chesham High Street.
I've just got this vision of this tiny little mouse trying to sort of, Tom and Jerry style, trying to sort of...
Well, it is a podcast about Chesham, so a seamless link to Darville's. I actually caught this mouse with a bit of chocolate eclair from Darville's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to say, I think they are so cute. They're really, really cute. We have wood mice where we are, so they've got really big ears, big eyes. They've got little pale tummies and little pink
You should see the size of their eyes when they hit the trap.
Oh, no.
You know in the cartoons when their eyes pop out their head, they actually do.
Yeah, Tex Avery's got a lot to answer for, the cartoonist.
Yeah, they actually do, though.
Anyway, so I heard this noise, and I was sort of banging the top of the bed covers, saying, go away. And I was saying out loud, go away, I don't want you here, and... stupid things like that, and then thinking, I really must put my mouse traps down. Anyway, about 4:00 in the morning, I decided to go to the bathroom, as you do, and I came back and climbed back into bed, and I got up again at 8:00. Went to the bathroom again. When I came back, because it was still dark, we are in the winter here, it was still dark. I went into the bedroom, turned the light on, turned around.
This is a live reaction video of Molly seeing what Sonia discovered in her bedroom
And there
at
on
that
the floor,
point. Are you ready, Molly?
in front of my bedroom door,
Oh my God.
was that.
It is massive. That is disgusting.
Look how long its tail is.
Yeah, the tail.
I've
is
never,
really-
honestly, I didn't realise quite how.
And that was in the room with you.
That was sleep. That was on the floor, about 5 to 6 feet away from where I was sleeping.
Can I ask how it got in your bedroom?
I'm not sure, but we have a proper staircase. Many years ago, we converted our loft, and we put in a proper staircase down from the like a not a step ladder, a proper staircase down, and the bottom of it is open, so it's an awkward shape to try and fill.
It was open.
So
I'm sure you've closed it now, haven't you? After saying that.
Yeah, so that's the only way. It's actually come down the stairs. That's all I can think of.
So for our listeners, we should describe the picture that Sonia just showed. Molly
You
is
can
a
describe
big fat rat with a big long tail.
Well, I
tail is
have to.
black as well. The tail is
Yeah.
actually black.
You can't. It's not actually.
How long was it, do you reckon?
From nose to tail. Oh, sorry. From nose to its bottom was about that much. It was about 8 to 10.
inches?
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 to 10
Wow,
inches,
that's
and
a
then the
long-
tail was that much again.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, massive tail.
Yeah.
And black tail, which
Yeah.
is also weird.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means.
Scaly as well.
Yeah,
What
really
does a black
scaly.
tail mean? Because usually they're kind of pink, aren't they?
Well, that's what I thought.
Probably, I don't
Shall I
know
have a Google?
what Sonia's been feeding them in the loft.
It's really weird.
For the listeners.
Sorry, I'm just moving
Molly
away
is
from my.
recoiling in horror because Sonia's now found another.
I've
photo of
discovered
it.
though that there's two kinds of rats. You got one that lives in the roof, like high spaces.
Yeah.
I think that's a Norwegian
Yeah.
one, and then the other one is the sewer rat
Yeah.
that lives in sewers. And
What
apparently
kind of
they
rat are
do
they?
coexist
Yeah.
quite well because they've got different like food preferences and different.
Can rats breathe underwater, or they just swim in the?
No, they
Canals and stuff.
swim. They are air breathers.
Oh,
They
wow,
don't
so
have
they-
snorkels.
Wow.
It's not unless they've got snorkels and a
So
flipper.
they're under there quite a lot. No wonder in and out of that
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Apparently, their tails sometimes turn black due to a lack of proper blood supply to their tail if
Oh.
they've been cold.
Oh, well,
Turn the heating on.
So the heating on for your
well,
rat.
funny enough, since that incident, I haven't actually heard. Well, I did actually. I did hear some noises a couple of days after this had happened, but I haven't heard anything since. And I think they've just upped and left because it's too damn cold up
Well,
there.
you say that, but
'Cause I
then
haven't
you
got
put
the
some
heating
poison
on.
down as well.
I did. I don't like doing it because I don't like it getting out into the into the ecosystem.
System, yeah.
But I figured that because when I went up to the loft, when I actually did go up to the loft, there was we had a big glass vase, like a cylinder thing that over the years we'd filled with pebbles, like you do when you go walking on the beach. You put pebbles and things on it, and there were seashells as well that we collected. When I went up into the loft, there were pebbles that were out and on the carpet, and also half-eaten seashells as well. Which there was no way a mouse could have done that. But as I said, when I got back and I saw this thing, I just sat on the bed looking at it for a while. So I did an awful lot of Googling.
How did you
How
move
did you
it?
get rid of it?
With an awful lot of courage because I
I would
was
panic. I'd run out the house.
No.
Did you think? Did you know it was dead, or did you?
Well, at the time, I wasn't sure. I just sat there
Give it a
looking.
kick.
I sat on the edge of the bed, and I just sat there looking at it. And I thought, I need to go downstairs and make myself a cup of coffee. And I thought, no, because what would happen if I went downstairs
And it was moved.
and I came back and it wasn't there
Yeah,
anymore?
you'd panic big time.
So anyway, by now I'd stepped over it a couple of times, so it obviously wasn't moving. So I went downstairs, I got myself a bucket, and I just put the bucket over the top, and its tail was still sticking out. So I sat there for a little bit longer, and I thought, I can't.
What am I
I
going to
can't.
do? Yeah.
Yeah. So I took the bucket off, had a much closer look at it, and I couldn't see any sign of breathing. Couldn't see any. I wasn't going to give it mouth to mouth, or even mouse to mouse.
Yeah. But
So I still had my I was still in my nightwear at that point. So I went downstairs. I got my long leather gauntlets that I use for gardening, like pruning roses and things. I put my safety glasses on and a face mask, and came back upstairs with a couple of black bin bags. Luckily, it had expired on some magazines. some old magazines that I had. So all I had to do was just like fold them over. I couldn't look at it while I was doing it. I had to look away, fold the magazines up, and then put it into this black bag and then double bin it. Well, I hope so.
Maybe that's why its tail was black, because it had lack of blood supply, like I said. There
Did
you
you
go.
sell it to a local kebab shop?
No, rattle, get your rattle on a stick here.
Ratatouille.
So it was a bit of a shock, but
That's massive, great rat.
It was huge. I didn't realise that they kind of
Got that big.
Ugh.
And that they're running around in your loft.
Yeah, but the thing is, instead, that was me thinking that I get these, my little live mouse traps. About this, it wouldn't even fitted its head in it.
No, absolutely not.
Sorry,
I saw
it
a
wouldn't
video
even fitted its
on
head in
YouTube
it.
the other day. There was a Japanese guy and his dog in the middle of the night was waking him up, and he thought he brought him one of his soft toys, and it had a big rat in his mouth. So the Japanese guy was half asleep, and the dog was nudging him. So he kind of took this thing out of his hand and it started moving, and he threw it, and there's a big rat, and the dog had brought him a rat.
Oh my
a live rat,
word!
just chucked it.
My mum's cat brings in mice almost every day, and it's brought in a rat a couple of times now.
You want to be careful of the
Smaller
mice
ones.
because they pretend they're dead, but they're not really, to make the cat leave them alone, and then they run off. And
She's walked into her living room a few times and just seen a mouse on the floor, or heard it behind the
decapitated
sofa.
mouse.
Oh, that happened to me once.
Yeah.
I was very small in the garden, and I saw this cat playing with something. And so I went over to investigate, and I flicked it over with my finger, and there's this mouse's face looking at me. I'd just been playing with the head.
Was it your cat?
It wasn't my cat.
Well, it's
no.
interesting because a lot of people say that a cat brings mice in for their owners as like a gift.
Yeah.
But when the cat brings a mouse in to my mum, it won't give it to, it won't put it in, and it runs straight past her. So it's not a gift. It's just the cat knows it's not supposed to do it, and it's running past her with this mouse in its mouth trying to get away. It's not a gift.
Let me check my information device to see if it says any clues as to why cats bring mice in. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
You're googling it. So it's brought in shrews, mice.
Oh,
birds,
shrews are evil. They really are
rats.
nasty.
Yeah.
You don't want to get one of those stuck on your finger.
No, it's a nightmare because they'll go. They worry about going away at the weekends now and stuff because they don't want to come back and just have loads of mice in, because it's constantly.
Oh.
There you go. Maybe try and show off its hunting skills or share its catch with you, but I don't think this cat is. I think it just enjoys.
Yeah, according to the most commonly answered thing on Quora. Is it Quora?
Oh,
yeah.
I follow that as well.
When a
It's very
cat brings a
interesting.
live mouse to you, it may be trying to show off its hunting skills or share its catch with you. Cats often see their owners as part of the family and may bring prey as a gift or to provide for the family. Oh yeah, because they obviously think that you're part of the family, so they're giving some food to you.
Yeah.
It probably means you have that and give me my food and we'll get on with it. Wow. Have you got any cats, Molly? Pets in your current house or
No, unfortunately not. I'm not allowed to.
Oh.
Landlords won't let you have animals, but my mum has a cat and we used to have a dog.
No, I can cut that out if you want. Too much information for the public on whether you've got a cat or a dog or not. You'd be walking down the street and they'd be like, "Who's your mum's dog?"
Dead, actually. Our dog is
dear.
dead.
Oh.
Sadly.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
That's okay.
Definitely cut that bit out. Then.
It was about 4 years ago.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Will she get another one? Do you reckon?
No, because my stepdad doesn't like dogs. Can you believe it?
So he inherited the dog, did he?
Yeah. So me and my mum had a dog, and then when he came into our lives, he doesn't like dogs.
You know the way around that, to get her a dog as a present, and you can't say anything
He
because it's
won't
not your mum's
actually live
decision.
in the house with a dog.
Really?
He only moved in with us, and he said if the dog was, because she was so lovely,
Yeah.
she was very calm, and at that point she was a lot older and just.
I didn't turn him around into dogs then.
No. I mean, he liked my dog that we had, but he said if that was a different dog, he wouldn't have even moved in the house. That's how much he just likes dogs.
That's how much he loves your mum.
It's me or the dog.
Yeah.
I mean, what a
Literally.
dilemma. Oh, my
And
goodness.
the problem is that I want to get a dog, so they're going to have to look after it. But he will.
I never know how to answer that question when you go to your friend's house and they say, "You all right with dogs?" And you're like, "Yeah."
Depends on the dog,
Yeah, and
really.
I said yes when I went to get my new car the other day. The mechanic, he said, "I'll come in. Are you all right with dogs?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, after I said that, I was like, "Actually, what is it?" And he goes, "Oh, it's a little cockapoo thing." I said, "Oh, that's fine." I thought you were going to say a Rottweiler or something.
you like Rottweilers? One of our old colleagues used to have a Rottweiler.
Well, the reason I'm okay with Rottweilers is because of Bear, Ben, who used to work here, had Bear, who was, what do they call him, a support dog?
Therapy
of sorts, a therapy dog, yeah. So I knew Bear when he was a little puppy, so I'm not really good with big dogs like Rottweilers, because I nearly got attacked by one once. I was walking down the street. It's quite a funny story. It was like about 2 a.m. we were walking out from the pub down this long road in Amersham, and then we saw this big creature rustling in the bushes ahead, and it came out of the Rottweiler, like looking at us, like off its lead and stuff. And we were like, oh my god, what do we do? So we kind of just stood there, and I heard, don't look it in the eye. So I was just like stood there, like looking up, and like we carried on talking normally as we were, didn't want to panic or anything, and it kind of lost interest after a while and just carried on sniffing in the thing. So we tried creeping past it, like walking past, and then we heard this like it had a little chain around its neck, and we heard it running behind us, and we like froze again, and we're like, what do we do? And then it was sniffing around our legs and stuff, and we were like, don't look it in the eye, don't look it in the eye. Apparently I can sense fear, and we were like, what do we do? So it's sniffing around us for a while, and we just stayed there. I was kind of didn't want to move my hands or anything, because if any sudden movements, I didn't want to upset it. And after a while, I got bored again and sort of wandered off. So we kind of slowly started walking, me and my friend, and then we had this, and it just kept following us. And we're like, what are we going to do? We can't go all the way home with a bloody Rottweiler following me, kind of thing. So we went into this person's gate. I opened this gate up and went inside, and we let the dog in, and it followed us in. And then we closed the gate.
Oh no!
So we went again, and we looked around, and it was up on its horse, like, looking at the gate, like thinking we were playing with it, and it jumped over and just started following us again. We were like, oh god, what are we going to do? Can't get away from this dog. So we literally ran and jumped over the top of this like 6-foot fence. One of the big 6-foot fences, and then we literally walked 2 miles around a different way home just to get home, so we didn't have to go down this road where the Rottweiler was. Yeah. So I'm not great with dogs after that, and that. Then so to meet Bear as a little puppy and see him grow, and he liked me and he'd sniff me and lick me and like jump all over me like a puppy. It was quite good, because it de-armed the dog as just a scary kind of breed. Yeah. But some of them, their owners make them a bit boisterous, don't they?
That's the thing, isn't it? It's the owners that
it is the owners more than the.
It's not the dog's fault. They just haven't been trained properly.
We've got a lovely dog here now, Gypsy, she's sweet as anything, isn't she?
Yeah, Gypsy, the cocker spaniel, some kind of spaniel.
She's a cocker spaniel. She's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah,
Not
great dog. Crazy dog. No, I'm not scared of her. It's just them big. What would you call them? Attack dogs or? No, what would you call Rottweilers and
they're fighting.
Pit bulls and stuff
they're like guard dogs.
If they've been bred to fight or to be guard dogs, then they can be aggressive.
I remember when I was little, there was my mum used to work at a pub, and the landlord at the pub had these 2 old police dogs, and they were like former police Alsatians.
I was going to say, were they Alsatians they used to use? Yeah.
They were big dogs, scary dogs. I didn't go anywhere near them.
No.
They were proper, because they could attack. You could do the attack command.
They never actually bit, like they just would put their teeth on your arm to get people to get down.
Yeah, but when you rip it away, they
they would stop you by like grabbing your arm, but they wouldn't actually like ever
had any run-ins with the dog, Sonia?
Your story reminded me of an incident I had when I was very young. I must have been about 7, maybe 8. I was brought up in Hackney. Yeah. And where we lived, there were a lot of houses that had been demolished. They were very old Victorian houses. Yeah. And a lot of roads around where we lived just had like corrugated iron hoardings up. Yeah. So the buildings were missing, and it would just take... So
damaged by the war, were they like?
No. They were just being demolished because they were going to be building high-rises. It was a bit scary walking along these roads, quite a number of roads. They were clearing large areas. And I remember coming back from it must have been a Saturday, my sister and I used to go to the local sweet shop to get our Saturday magazine and some sweeties usually with our pocket money. And I remember on the way back there was a pack of dogs. There must have been about 6 or 7 of them.
Wild dogs?
Yeah, they were domesticated, but they'd kind of run a bit wild. I suppose they used to live in the old houses and
urban dogs.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see it these days, but there was this pack had a leader, and it was like a white Alsatian, and we were trying, like you said, we were trying not to, make eye contact with it, and we were literally round the corner from where we lived, and all of a sudden we'd managed to get past this pack of dogs. It was my sister who was more frightened than I was. She's about 4.5 years older than me, and next thing I know, I had actually paws on my shoulders at the back, and I started to scream, and I remember there was a car driving around the corner, and the driver stopped and got out and tried to. And then we just ran off. We just ran off because we only lived around the corner. Yeah. So whoever that driver was, thank you very much. Don't know what happened to the dogs after that, but I think obviously there was a complaint. I wonder if that's an urban myth. Molly, would you mind checking on your information device to see if it is an urban myth that you're not supposed to look dogs in the eyes? I think I have asked April, one of our colleagues who does some dog training, whether that's true or not, but knowing me, I can't remember what she said. I did ask her. I remember asking her.
Yeah, it does say if you encounter an unfamiliar dog, try to avoid looking directly into his or her eyes and instead look at ears or feet, because dogs have an excellent knowledge of body language. The dog will be watching you to understand your intent, though you may not realise it.
So you look at ears or feet? Well, that's interesting.
Just avoid looking at the damn thing altogether. I think I did the right thing.
Yeah,
just
feet or ears, it says here.
Wow, I wonder what it thinks it's a challenge if it looks you in the eyes. Can it tell the fear or... Wow. Molly, have you ever had any run-ins with dogs?
No, I was once at my friend's house and they were looking after a big Dalmatian, and it was very aggressive.
Dalmatians?
Yeah.
Really?
Like, Dalmatians can get really
big. They can be, yeah.
Well, I don't remember seeing that in the cartoon. Whenever
it was a really
chasing the villa around.
It was a really big dog, and I was only small at the time, and it tried to put its paws up on me. And I didn't like it, and my friend's parents weren't particularly helpful.
Was that the first of the many incidences with you and animals? Was that the first one or
I've had
not?
quite a few issues with animals in my lifetime.
Do you want to tell the monkey story?
Yeah, so when I was in South Africa, me and my mum went to South Africa when I was younger, and we were up on
Table
Mountain. Yeah, we just got, and there's loads of monkeys. And I had a packet of crisps, and one of the monkeys attacked me for my crisps at the top of the table.
She got punched by a monkey.
I don't know where the word punched came in. I'm not sure if we ever established that.
She got punched by a monkey.
I think that's probably your imagination running away with you there,
She had a tete-a-tete and got punched by a monkey.
Oh no.
And your other incident about the horse?
Oh yeah, when I went, I was on holiday with my mum again, a different trip, but my mum did we went horseback riding along the coast.
It's a long way up there when you're sitting, you're young and you're sitting on the back of a horse. Yeah, it's a long way down.
This horse really decided that it wanted to swim. And so it just, when it saw the sea, it ran into the sea, like fully into the sea, started swimming with me on its back.
Oh my goodness.
From then on, I don't like horses because that was traumatising.
I'm not surprised.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Literally
how
up
deep
to
it would have been.
Up to its waist. I was absolutely drenched.
Oh my goodness.
It just started swimming around in the sea.
Yeah.
Did you remember thinking, shall I jump off or do I stay on? Or?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I had my camera on me, so...
Oh wow.
Imagine if a shark would have attacked the horse and then you'd have been like dressed down the back of the horse. What would you have done? This hypothetically, if the horse ran into the ocean, right, and then a shark was coming and it started attacking the horse, would you stay on the back of the horse or
use
jump
it as
in?
a decoy, wouldn't you?
Or jump in and
try and make away.
Well, the shark might get you though.
Did you know how to swim at the time?
Yeah,
you did.
I think I was 10 or 11 years old.
Yeah, but that's still quite a bit of a shock, though, isn't it? You can't think straight.
No. I've also been stung by a jellyfish.
Ooh.
Did you wee on it?
Same trip to South Africa. No, because that's a myth.
Is that an urban myth? We'll check our information device to find out if that's an urban myth, whether peeing on a sting is good for it or not. Actually, I think if your foot's stinging at the time,
anything would help, wouldn't it? You could try anything.
Well, mind you, you're in the sea, aren't you, when it normally happens?
It says it's a myth that peeing on a jellyfish sting does anything to ease the pain. There are no studies to support this idea. Urine actually may worsen the sting.
I wonder where that developed or who first came up with that.
Somebody with a sick joke.
Yeah, just pee on it. That'll make it sting even more. Pee on it. That made it sting even more.
Oh dear.
Oh, blimey. Have you had any, well, you have a weekly run-in with animals, don't you?
Oh well, yeah. What's the latest?
Magpie and the...
Oh yeah, I've had a couple of magpies down the chimney before now. I've had to... The first time I had to wait, this was a few years ago, I had to wait for the RSPCA. They couldn't come out for a couple of days, and I had to listen to this thing flapping about
in your chimney.
Imagine trying to sleep with that in your bedroom.
Yeah, because again, the chimney's in the bedroom. Luckily, it's got a fire guard over the front of it, so we couldn't actually get into the room. And then the next time it happened, I thought, well, I'm not going to wait for them because it took 2 days. You can't do that.
You got your shotgun out, didn't you? And
so I thought, right, gauntlets again.
Gauntlets. Sonny's the only person in the world that's got gauntlets.
You do have a bit of a run-in.
I do, yeah. Safety glasses, face masks a lot. And I managed to get this. It was really strange, though, because I was told that if you because the back of the fireplace has got like a ledge at the back, and the damn thing wouldn't come down. So the lady from the RSPCA said, well, what you do is, she said, it's too late in the afternoon now, so it's going to go to sleep. But in the morning, if you shine...
How does it know what time of day it is if it's in a pitch black?
This is very important. Birds are diurnal, so it means that they will go towards a light source.
Yeah.
So if you put a box in the bottom of the fireplace and then shine a torch into it, they'll actually drop into the box.
Oh, clever.
And it worked. It worked. Except when I went to get to it, it jumped back up the chimney.
Did you have your head torch on? Is that what the light source was?
Yeah. So I didn't. I had a nice like a mains lamp, like a workshop lamp. So in the end, I just put my hand up the chimney, and the most extraordinary thing happened. This damn thing actually walked onto my glove.
On the gauntlet.
Yeah, because I felt one foot. And so I did this, and I could feel the body kind of bouncing.
Rubbish.
And then the next thing is, this is all up round the... I know. And then it walked up, and I couldn't believe it.
Dr. Do
so I gently lowered my hand down. Luckily, it was facing that way.
Was it a magpie or a blackbird?
It was a magpie. If it was facing this way, it would have been a different story, because I've had the beak end.
You grabbed it and wrung its neck.
I could actually put my hand over its back and pull it down that way, and it was, oh god, and then it started shrieking at me, and then I could hear, because it was a youngster in the house, and then I could hear the parents out, because this was a juvenile. I could hear the parents outside through the chimney replying to this. You
peck your eyes out when you took it outside. It attacked you.
No, it didn't. And I took it outside, and I
How'd
put
you
it
open
down,
the door?
and it flew away. I'd already opened the door.
What, to let all the squirrels and foxes and stuff come into your house, and more rats in? Let more rats into the house.
So it was, you have to wait for your heart to kind of calm down, because I've got nobody else to help me. I can't sit there.
Did you keep a feather to remind you of that you're...
No.
You're very brave.
No. I didn't. Well, I didn't
I'd
have
rather
an option.
tackle a magpie than a rat. I don't think I could.
Yeah.
If you had gauntlets, though, metal gauntlets.
It would still go through.
Even the thought of it keeps making me shudder.
Grabbing a bird?
No, the rat.
Oh, even the bird.
Well, the rat's dead.
Yeah.
That's just...
Yeah,
It's
you didn't know that at the time.
No, I was pretty certain I couldn't. I did have a closer look, and I couldn't see any movement.
I believe there was blood, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was some blood. Yeah, so I know. But,
wow.
So I don't know what's going on in my house.
So we've covered nature in the first podcast.
I have to say, I did actually last week. I had a lovely guy come and help me to start clearing the back of the garden, because unfortunately the roof of my shed got shredded with the really bad wind that we had recently. So, but I couldn't get to the shed to even get anybody to quote for it because it was so overgrown. So he's come to help me, and he also cleared went round the front and took some of the ivy off the house, because we've got a lot of ivy growing up. Well, not anymore, because he's removed it all. So I'm hoping that will deter...
Stop animals getting into the house.
Because it means that... Because they'll probably getting up through, past the...
you should open the
downpipe. I do. I feel like Snow White sometimes. I really do, with all my creatures that I have, that come in.
The magpie whisperer herself. You should just breed magpies or something.
Oh dear.
It's quite a famous bird around here, isn't it? There's lots of pub called the Magpies, and lots of football teams and stuff called the Magpies. So that must be quite a big area for magpies around here.
One for Sorry, two for Joy.
Yeah, what's the rest of it?
3
1
for a
for
girl, 4
4 for a boy, 5,
Silver, 6 for gold,
7.
7 for a story never to be told, I think.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Molly, information device. My glamorous assistant
Yeah.
is now looking on her information device. So what would you call it? The magpie rhyme. I reckon there's loads. It's like 5 gold rings, isn't it? Like
1 for sorrow, 2 for joy. Oh,
I'm only going by what
3
they used
for a
to...
girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told, 8 for a wish, 9 for a kiss, 10 a surprise you should be careful not to miss, 11 for health, 12 for wealth, 13 beware it's the devil himself.
As I say, we got 13.
who's ever seen
you need
13 magpies apart from the magpie
if you've got
whisperer here?
13, you need to go
How
and
many
get,
were-
go and get some
The
help.
version of this rhyme was recorded in 1780,
Oh,
so it's a very old rhyme.
that's interesting.
Before the foxes and the dogs and the
Yeah.
cats hunted them all down, I imagine.
Yeah.
When was the cat domesticated in the UK? Because that might have coincided with a drop
Oh,
in
that
the...
would have been... No, that would
No.
have been centuries ago. Because don't forget, the Egyptians had domesticated
No, they loved cats, didn't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's 2,000 years ago. Apparently,
Yeah.
people started having cats.
Yeah. But the cats in Europe were very seen as evil. There was horrible incidents where they actually used to burn them.
What,
Especially if they
cats?
were black. Yeah, black cats were
I had a
seen
black
as
cat.
a
Witch's cat.
manifestation of the devil.
Really?
They used to burn them. And
Google it. Why were
It's
black
horrible.
cats seen as a manifestation of the devil?
yeah.
I wonder why. Why
Dreadful.
they considered that? Because of witches, I guess.
Yeah,
Witches have black
probably.
cats, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
This is crossing paths with the black cat, so it's if you walk in a cat's path. Not actual, just black cat.
So sad that they've been...
But then that means, yeah, like you said, they're not
Yeah.
picked up as much. People don't want them as much.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the rescue
in
centres
shelters.
and...
Really?
Yeah.
I had a pure
Yeah.
black cat, Katie. She lived to like 21 years old.
You called your
Oh,
cat Katie.
Katie,
That's
yeah.
such a human name.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if my mum let us choose, so I called my cat Snuggles, and my sister called her cat Katie for some reason. I don't know
Yeah.
why. And then my cat got run over because we lived on the high street,
Oh.
and they never replaced it. And then my sister kind of lost interest in the cat, and it kind of tagged onto me. And then wherever we went,
cats
it
find
lived,
the owners,
it
don't
lived
they?
with me, and it was kind of my room, and lived in my room and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, it says about
she lived to like
witches.
21.
yeah.
I always used to think though, when she was getting older and older, I was like, how old did cats live to? Because my
think
cat
it
used
really
to get older
varies.
and older and older, and I was thinking, did the cat die at some point? And Mum replaced it and didn't tell us, and I'm too stupid to realise that it's
No,
the
they can
second
go on
cat.
for 18, 19
Yeah, I'm
years.
sure
Mum's
this
cat
was
lived
like
to be
21.
21.
Yeah, I'm sure it was
Yeah.
21, this
I
cat.
think
Yeah.
most cats are about 16, 17.
Yeah.
Hopefully maybe a bit old, 17.
If they're, I
don't.
think if they're truly feral, then they have a much shorter
Oh,
lifespan.
yeah, when my gran used to live, there was a field next to her, and there was loads of feral cats in there.
Yeah.
They were vicious little buggers, they were.
Yeah, they will be.
Yeah, they were proper vicious, like
Yeah.
proper cats in the wild.
Yeah.
I wonder how it came to pass that cats were domesticated, whether they started following humans or whether humans for those ones are not as big as lions and tigers. We'll have that and we'll take it in our hut or whatever, and and it started hanging around.
It probably started when men became farmers, when they needed something to look after the rodent population for grain storage. I think that's probably when
Really?
it all started off.
Debbie McGee, get on the case.
So they were... Oh, poor Molly. Having
That's
to
what she's there
work.
for.
That would be my reckoning.
Yeah.
So they would use cats to keep the rodent population.
Molly's our resident
Yeah.
So
researcher.
I'm looking at why do we keep cats?
Yeah, why do we
Yeah.
keep cats, or how did cats and
Yeah.
humans come to coexist?
Yeah. But I do know that apparently feral cats don't meow. It's only domesticated cats do, and they've learnt to do it to mimic.
They howl. I know that. I remember these wild cats next to my
Yeah.
nan's. They'd go
Yeah.
like that kind of noise. Whatever. What would you call that?
A yowl.
A yowl. Yeah, when they're upset, to scare you off. Basically.
Yeah.
You're pretty much right, Sonia. It says people began keeping cats as pets around 9,000 years ago in the Middle East. This was likely due to the cat's ability to control pests such as rodents, making them valuable to
Yeah.
early human settlement for
Yeah.
protecting food stores.
Yeah.
Over time, cats have become valued for their companionship and their roles in religious and cultural practices.
Yeah. So.
So
Religious.
obviously- yeah, well, the Egyptians worship cats.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
They if you go to Egypt, you see in the
They mummified them
they
as
mummified
well.
the cats. They're
Yeah.
they're
They're gods.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Gods. Cat gods.
I just love the cats because they're deadly predators, and yet they sleep like 23 hours a day, don't
Yeah.
I think it's crazy when you see a little cat. They actually look like mini lions, like
Yeah.
the way,
Yeah.
or tigers, the way they actually stalk and
movement,
everything.
yeah,
You
yeah.
just think, wow, that's actually like a mini.
they? And the other way around as well, when you see like
Yeah.
lions and tigers like acting like your cat
Yeah.
at home, that you like do exactly the
And
same
then you
things.
suddenly realise the sizes of their paws.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You think,
massive.
oh.
Yeah.
So they can
One
swipe
of those,
your cats at home swipe you all the time. So
Yeah.
when the tiger, it doesn't mean to hurt you, does it?
No.
Give you a swipe and
Exactly.
beat you to pieces. Have you seen that little? There was a documentary a few years ago on when this poor lion that broke its back. I think it got stumbled on by like wildebeest or something, and it broke its back, and it was trying to keep up with the pack.
Oh.
And its mum sort of gave up helping it after a while, and is trying to teach it if you want to stay with us, you've got to survive. And when they used to go up these hills and stuff, this poor thing was trying to drag itself up, and it lived for ages apparently. I think hyenas got it in the end.
Oh.
Spoiler, if you ever watched that documentary, hyenas got it in the end.
Oh.
Which is probably why they got the idea for Lion King. You know, them hyenas are buggers, aren't they? They were in Lion King anyway.
Yeah. In the
I wonder where that came from. Like, do hyenas attack lions?
Of course they do. They'll attack anything.
Yeah, they will if
Really?
they're outnumbered.
Mm.
So if you've got like lions, there's like one lion and it's away from its pack, then hyenas can take it. Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Oh yeah.
A lion?
Yeah. They'll go
They
for
circle
it.
it and
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
ju-
What
and
about
just
an
wear it
elephant or
out,
something big like that?
basically.
yeah, they'll do the same.
What? An elephant? They can
Yeah.
take down an elephant. Could they? What?
Yeah, but that's why
Hyenas?
they're all pack animals, because they wouldn't be able to take down a whole pack. But if they can single like a baby elephant out, or
Mm.
just an elephant.
Oh, was that why in Lion King they got Scar on his own? They could take him down.
Yeah, they took Scar down, didn't they?
Yeah, they
There
did.
you go.
You know,
Not sure
see,
how
I-
factually
I've
correct
never
Lion
actually
King
seen Lion King.
What?
so-
Not even the live action one. There's a I say live action one. It was kind of AI generated, but
Yeah.
there's a cartoon one and a
Oh.
live motion one. I've
Oh,
got.
is
The
there?
cartoon one's definitely the best.
Oh, is
It
it?
is.
Oh, I'll have to
And
look.
seeing it live, I mean, the West End show is
Do we give Sonia a spoiler though about how the sad moments in it?
You just did give her a spoiler.
I'm sure. I'm sure there are
Scar.
lots of sad. I'm sure there
I
are
mean,
lots
The
of
Lion
sad
King is a
moments.
film that's been out for 30 years.
Yeah.
Almost.
I used to have to
So,
make
I mean,
an
it's not really a
excuse to
spoiler
leave the
anymore.
room when I used to watch it with my brother and sister because
Did it make it? Was it
there's a really
Mufasa dying?
sad, spoiler.
Oh.
It's
Close
not
your ears.
30 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Simba's
Um,
dad dies in it.
Oh.
The little
Gets
lion.
trampled.
Oh.
Yeah, because of the
Scar.
his evil brother.
Oh.
Well, funnily enough, they in psychology they talk about archetypes, don't they? And different characters, and you can summarise people's characters into different archetypes. They call them.
Mm.
And there's a famous clinical psychologist called Jordan Peterson who did a whole series comparing the iconology
Mm.
that they use in Lion King, which perfectly marries up with character traits in humans, and the archetypes that they study in Freud and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. It's really clever. It's really interesting as well because he uses the characters in Lion King to make all his points and stuff. That sounds funny, but it's
Mhm.
really good. He has a whole series about it. He also does a biblical one as well, which I think he uses Lion King to compare characters in the Bible and stuff like that, and what it teaches us the different stories in the Bible and how it compares to modern day and what story they were trying to teach people. Because he argues that the Bible wasn't specific stories; they weren't stories that had happened. They were like teachings, moral teachings, and guidelines that they'd put together for people, and they used these stories to try and get those morals and
Which will
ethics across.
influence
Yeah, so
people.
he argues that the stories in there weren't specifically always historical based. They were more symbolic symbolism. A lot of the stories in the Bible. Very interesting. Check it out online. Jordan Peterson,
Okay.
Lion King, and the Bible series.
Mhm.
Very good.
Interesting.
Highly recommended.
That's what I love about these things. They're always so educational, sharing information.
Yeah, it's things you've picked up. Nonsense out of my brain and nonsense out of Molly's brain. Not that there's any nonsense in your brain, I'm sure, Molly.
There's a lot of nonsense in my brain. I think
Oh.
TV shows could do a lot with like using those sort of ideologies of people and sticking to them, because you get a lot of like, oh my god, this is ridiculous, but I used to watch EastEnders and the characters would just do things that were completely out of character for them, and you're like, they wouldn't like stick to your character, you know.
Yeah.
I mean I don't watch it anymore, but when I watched it I was like, they wouldn't do that, that's stupid. And then I think some TV shows could do a lot with
One of our
Yeah.
colleagues is obsessed with EastEnders.
Oh, Jenny.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
loves EastEnders. I used to watch it all the time.
The only thing she watches, she even bought an iPad, I think, just so she could watch EastEnders. Doesn't have a TV license or anything like that. If the TV license people are listening, I don't think she has a TV license, but she doesn't use a TV. Okay.
Still counts if you're on
Is it?
player, John.
Oh, sorry, Jenny.
my issue I have about EastEnders is that I think that there are a lot of people out there that think it's a documentary rather than an entertainment program, and you know that isn't, as you say, it's not real life.
They must be the most unlucky people in the whole
exactly.
world.
I just found it so miserable after a while. I stopped watching it. I used to watch Coronation Street because they were a bit more jovial. I always thought.
But I'm sure if they banned it for a year, I bet you people's behaviour would actually change out there in the world, you know, because you're not sort of winding each other up.
Those poor people, they've been through murders and stabbings, and they've had, you know, been cheated on, and they've had everything happen to them, because there's only a certain amount of people. So if you're writing it for every night of the week, pretty much, then you're just going to run out of these storylines.
I can't think what came first, whether EastEnders got popular after Neighbours or whether Neighbours was first and then they decided to make one in the UK as well. It was around 85, 86 EastEnders started.
Wasn't it a bit earlier than that?
No, I think it was 85, 86.
I think it was about 84.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's have a penny bet. Do you bet your pet magpie that
I think it was about
84 or 85? I'll have your gauntlets if it was 85.
No, you can't have my gauntlets.
You've got about 10 pairs, haven't you?
Well done, John.
Just forced me with a different pair.
Well done.
85.
85. Oh, okay.
I remember the first episode, Dr. Legg came into it because another doctor was murdered. I used to know the name of the doctor as well. I used to be in mind of useless information. And Nick Cotton was the murderer, and in the first episode they found the doctor murdered, and Dr. Legg was the replacement doctor. You have to love it. The Fowlers. Pauline and Arthur, and it kind of crossed over into culture, didn't it? Like when Arthur stole the club money one Christmas, everyone in EastEnders were giving money to charity, and Arthur done a run of the money, the club money. Have you ever heard that in cultural? No.
First episode of Neighbours was 1986.
So they obviously thought, EastEnders is popular.
Yeah.
I remember. Do you remember El Dorado as well?
I remember it, but I didn't ever really watch it.
ITV tried launching a new one to like get it on the act, didn't they? And it was set in Spain.
There was a whole place that they actually built.
They created, didn't they? They
specifically for
BBC,
it.
Wasn't it? It was BBC.
Yeah.
I used to like it.
They actually made it. Yeah, they actually built this place.
All that lot.
Yeah,
there we go. Soaps from animals to soaps. So we've got about 10 minutes left today, folks. Is there anything that you want to talk about today, Molly, in the first episode, or are you happy to carry on riffing about animals and
I quite
soaps?
like one of our questions. Can we do one of the questions?
Yeah, sure. So I'll bring it up on screen for you to see, Sonia. You ready? So you're going to give me your poker face. You're going to be the first person to answer this. Oceans or mountains? What do you prefer, and why do you prefer one to the other? What
You're
are
on the spot here?
What's immediately popped into your head? Oceans or mountains? If you could go in the next hour to an ocean or to go to a mountain, where would you go?
I'd probably go to an ocean. In the next hour, because it's bloody cold at the moment here.
Well, I think how cold it'd be with that wind coming off the sea. Depends what ocean you go to.
That's true. That's true. I don't think technically yes, of course I've looked at an ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, I have.
Bognor?
That's English Channel still.
Is that not an ocean?
No, that's still
an ocean, isn't it?
That's still
technically the sea.
Yeah,
it's the sea. Yeah.
But,
I'm sure that's an ocean.
Yeah, I'm probably coast.
Why? Because of the coldness at the moment.
I just like I think. It depends whether I had to be in the water or whether I could just walk along the edge.
I just like looking at thinking of the endless possibilities when you look at an ocean, where you could go, what's in there, the how deep it is, and what's all that life and all that.
Absolutely terrify me.
Yeah.
I think they are one of the most dangerous things in the whole world. An ocean. I just like the thought of it, like not being on the beach, but
unpredictable.
I don't like swimming in the sea.
Yeah.
Particularly.
You don't know what's underneath you, do you?
I think when you're in the middle of the ocean and looking around you, I think it's just crazy, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
vastness of it.
Yeah, the
and
vastness,
just,
yeah.
like how dangerous it is out there. I
Man's
just
got
think it's
no
crazy.
business being in the ocean, have they?
No, not really.
I've always had a bit of a fear of it, and you hear all these stories about people getting swept away by the currents and tides and stuff during the summer. I think it's awful. The terror, like I like it, but I think it really scares me.
Well, have I told you guys? I don't know. But when I was little, like 7 or 8, and then we went to Devon or Cornwall, and there was the beach was with this real steep steps, and we went down it. It was these wooden steps, and it was all big splinters and horrible steps and stuff. So there was this steep steps went down, and I hated it. Apparently I was kicking off and I didn't like it, and my mum was holding my hand all the way, and I was nearly crying and stuff. But there was 2 ways down to this beach. There was these big steep steps, and there was this meandering road a bit further up the beach, you know, because it slowly went up the thing, and you could go up that way. So after that first day I was like, I'm going on the road. So I went down this road. Next day I'm fine with that. Mum and that lot went up these steps one day, and I was like, I'm not going up them, especially up them, like these sheer steps and all the splinters and stuff. So I headed off down the beach to find this road, and so I meet you at the top. Carried on walking. I'd obviously missed the road. Carried on walking. The tide was coming in, and the cliffs were sheer after this point. Tide was coming in, and I was like crying, walking down the beach. Didn't know where. I wasn't clever enough to turn around and go back the other way. Like these steps. I thought it's a bit further, and I'll get to this road. Luckily, a woman walking her dog found me, and she said she wasn't going to go that day or something like that. She said, but for whatever reason, she decided, I'll take the dog out at the last minute. And she said another 10 minutes, and that sea would have been right up. Yeah. Would have been dead.
Oh my god!
She brought me back up to the high ground, and my parents found me and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, I only got swept out to sea. So I'm the same as you, Molly. I'm very respectful of the sea and its power, and I don't want to go anywhere.
That's a crazy story. I was going to say, like, the tide and stuff is going to be. You know.
How quick it came in as well.
Oh yes, yeah. There's a beach in Cornwall we used to go to on Perranporth, and you always, when the tide was going to turn, and you'd see these people like a long way out. They'd be
wouldn't be able to get back, would they?
No, they were sitting there. They still had their belongings on the sand, and you think you don't want to sit there.
No, you don't want to be there.
You cannot believe how far in that water actually comes in one go. It's really quite shocking.
We go to Holy Island quite regularly, which is just off the coast of Northumberland.
Yeah, I'd love to go there.
Only get there during certain times of the day.
Yeah,
when the tide is low, so you
can
drive.
You've
across,
got causeway,
but you have to go back. They tell you the time on the day. There's like you have to start travelling back by like 4 p.m. If you don't, you have to stay over there overnight.
Yeah,
because the road there completely submerged by the sea by like 20 minutes after that time they give you.
If I was running a motel there, I'd like let people's tyres down so they could stop there for the moment.
Trust you.
200 quid.
So it's crazy. And travelling there by foot as well. If you miss. You know, it's quite a long walk, so most people don't travel by foot. But if you do, you have to make sure that you are back on the other side by
the other danger with that is the sludge, isn't it? Because people think, I'll just nip across that sand, but it's actually proper quicksand, isn't it? Because it's so wet still, the sand, and you can get proper.
I just think living there must be such a nightmare. Loads of people do, and it's a really sought after place to live. It's beautiful, but what a nightmare if you just want to pop over and you know you can't
so restricted.
Literally. You can only travel back at certain time. I mean, some people have boats and stuff, but if you want to drive. You literally can't.
Apparently my surname means water dweller. I looked it up once, right into the genealogy of it all, and it meant my family used to live and work off the sea, kind of thing, like be it coastal. My surname apparently, which I found odd.
That's interesting.
That's where my surname comes from.
Fascinating.
Do you know what the origin of your you don't have to give it out, but the origin of your surname? Do you know?
Which one?
Oh yeah, you got two. You're hogging and you got two.
No. Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it an interesting story?
No,
not at all. Molly?
Mine's Irish, so.
It means I like eating.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they've probably farmed.
Yeah.
Your surname.
Yeah. So it came.
Molly Potato is that name?
No, that's where it is. Definitely an Irish surname. And when I go over to Ireland, because my name's Molly as well, which is also quite Irish.
Yeah.
They do think they do when they hear my name.
They claim you for their own.
Irish. I mean, both my parents both sides of my family originated from Ireland.
Right.
Came over during the potato famine. So
Just to clarify,
roots are in Ireland.
the potato comment, I'm allowed to say that because also on my grandfather's side, his mother was from Ireland as well, so I'm able to be self-depreciative.
I learned I've only been to Ireland once, and I learned a lot about the potato famine, which was crazy when I went.
I've always wanted to go to Ireland and do the north, east, south, west coast. Go up the west coast. Apparently, you can drive up there for days and see anyone and stuff like that.
My aunt's family's from
Oh,
the
Fanny's
west
from
coast.
there, Fanny,
County Kerry. Yeah.
Oh wow, isn't she Irish?
Yeah, my auntie is. Yeah, her family. That's where the rest of the family are in Ireland. County Kerry. So that's the southwest. Where if you look on the map, it's got like all the really jaggedy bits, and they kind of get the first rainfall when it comes over.
There's a famous story actually. I'm big into my music, and when in Nirvana, the famous Nirvana story. So when obviously Nirvana disbanded because the singer Kurt Cobain died, this drummer Dave Grohl sort of locked himself away for a couple of years and didn't really do a lot and didn't go anywhere, and he wanted nothing more to do with music. He said he turned the radio off all the time because all music just reminded him of his friend dying and stuff like that. And he said he ran away to Ireland because he had quite a spiritual experience when they toured in Ireland, and he said he was driving a couple of hours up Ireland on the west coast, same he wanted to just be on his own and clear his head and stuff, and there was a hitchhiker pulled over, and on the front of the hitchhiker's t-shirt was a picture of Kurt Cobain, and he said that made him realise that no matter where you go in the world, you can't escape your past, basically. And it made him face up to it, like, I need to, I can't keep running, I need to come back and deal with this kind of thing. It's quite an iconic moment for him. He talks about it a lot in his book and stuff, that said he just wanted to run away from everything, and even in the middle of Ireland, 2 hours driving, not seeing anyone, there's a hitchhiker with his friend's face on his t-shirt. Wow. There we go. Have you ever been to Ireland, Molly, then?
Yeah. Last year went to... Oh no, a couple of years ago. Went to
Did you
Dublin
feel like it was at home in your spirit? And no?
Not really at all.
People talk about...
I mean, it was a lovely place.
Yeah.
I learned quite a lot about the history because I didn't know... I know, obviously, a lot about the stuff that's in the news, but I didn't know that much.
Yeah, we tend not to teach it.
No,
we don't
it's
teach
really
Irish.
crazy.
I know. I want to learn more about it.
We are the bad guys.
I don't think we come across very well, do we?
We don't come across well.
No.
We learned that the potato famine, because I knew about the potato famine because like I say, my family came over here during that, and it wasn't that there wasn't enough food. There was enough food. There's just the food wasn't going to the people. It was taken by all the English people.
Yeah.
So loads and loads of people, like a third of their population
I know,
died.
it's shocking.
But there was enough food to feed everyone. It just didn't go. It just was getting shipped out to England because the wrong people were in charge.
They say that history is written by the winners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wonder what really happened there, because this is if that's the dumbed down version to try and make it probably England won that battle, and that's what we let to come out. It probably was a lot far worse, wasn't it? If that's the good version, I wonder what the actual version was.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that, and that's something that you don't learn in school, and that's a lot more recent history than some of the other stuff. But like you say, we're not considered the good people.
No.
And it explains why the Irish, some Irish people don't really like the English that much, and you're not really taught about this. No, exactly. That's the point I was getting at. There's obviously reasons behind it, and isn't there?
There's a lot of reasons, which I didn't learn until I actually went over there, which is interesting.
Yeah. Until I did my genealogy and my stuff, I didn't realise that my granddad's mother had come over from Ireland, so from that side of things. There we go. So we've covered quite a lot today, haven't we? We've covered nature, lots of animal talk. Molly's incidents with nature, that was nature as well, wasn't it? Oceans, it's a bit of soaps, and then oceans or mountains. No one chose mountains, interestingly.
No, I definitely choose
mountains.
Mountains,
because you don't like the oceans.
I don't like the ocean particularly. No, not that I don't like it, it scares me.
But there's lots to scale in the mountains as well.
There is, but
Bigfoot.
I think I'd still rather be in mountains than
really?
I
don't know if there's a bear or shark.
Bears don't, unless it's a grizzly bear, they don't attack you. They are very docile animals. A lot of people think that bears, if you're in somewhere very rural,
unless they think you've got food,
they leave you well alone.
Do you think you could shoot a bear if it was attacking you?
Well, if it was attacking you, if you've got a gun.
Where would you shoot it?
Between the eyes, sadly.
What if you missed?
That'd be
the last thing you ever did, wouldn't it?
Try again.
Bears are lovely. Most of them. The grizzlies are the ones that are...
Where's
there,
Willow
yeah.
when you need her? She could have told us about her bears.
Oh.
And polar
Swanning,
bears aren't
yeah.
particularly...
I just think bears have got the right idea when they go to sleep in the autumn and then don't wake up till
Yeah.
spring.
I remember Billy Connolly famously said that when he did his tour of Arctic, because he used to camp out in the Arctic on his own and film and stuff, and he said you won't see all you see of a polar bear when it kills you are its eyes, because it's obviously white everywhere. You'll suddenly see its eyes and then you're dead. If you see its eyes, then you're dead.
Interesting fact about polar bears. Did you know that their skin is black?
And the fur's white.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
You just shave it.
I wonder if anyone's ever seen a polar bear with alopecia.
Without alopecia.
Obviously, no, it's a bit cruel to
But-
shave it, but if it had
Apparently
alopecia...
they've actually got
I
black
don't think a
skin.
polar bear would survive with alopesia. It keeps
No.
them warm.
Famously, Brian Blessed claims to have punched a polar bear, doesn't he, when he was in the Antarctic? He tells a famous story that he poked out his head out and there was a polar bear looking at him, so he punched it on the nose. He reckons he punched a polar bear. It's one of Brian Blessed's famous stories. I'll send you it on YouTube when we finish off
clip
today.
of one of the David Attenborough documentaries where a polar bear, what they do to their prey to get seals off is the ice sheet, they like hit them so that they bob and the seal eventually slides off. And there's the clip of these guys filming and they're stood on an ice sheet and a polar bear starts trying to do the same to them. And they're just watching
What's it doing?
wow, filming it amazing, not
Yeah,
running
but
for their
you
boat. And
don't
just
realise that you're actually
so close
trying to
to
make
you're
it
on the
crack.
menu. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't realise they were actually on the bear menu.
I know.
Oh
The
dear.
same killer whales do the same, or
Yeah, there's incredible footage, isn't there, with the seals and the killer whales when they rush
they
at
do the same thing.
Yeah, they rush at the and
Orcas,
create a
that's
bow
what they're
wave.
called.
They create
I'm
a
not
bow.
supposed to call them killer whales anymore. It's supposed to be
No?
Yeah,
orcas.
Orcas.
Yeah.
The killer whales. give
They
them
create a
that
bow
name.
wave and it
Yeah.
sweeps the seal off. That was incredible
yeah.
footage.
That was a seamless link, ladies, to take it all the way back to nature again, about animals. So episode 1 of the Friends Together podcast, we can say was about nature, I think. Overall. Learned lots there. What was the gaggle of rats called?
A mischief.
A mischief, yeah.
Yeah,
Mischief makers.
It's really great.
So from that mischief to us finishing our mischief for the week, this has been the Friends Together podcast, and that concludes episode 1. If you'd like to say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The Let's Be Frank podcast is brought to you by the Oasis Partnership, a charity providing high-quality social and psychological support services to improve people's mental health and well-being. We deliver socially inclusive, open-access support for the wider communities of Buckinghamshire through pioneering and innovative partnerships and initiatives. Oasis provides free and subsidised health and wellbeing classes and support groups for the Chiltern area, including mindfulness, yoga, Tai Chi, Reiki, fitness, boxing, art and music. Oasis also helps support people to reach their full potential through our substance misuse treatment service, Routes to Work and outreach service. The Oasis Substance Misuse Treatment Service is provided in partnership with Inclusion, part of Midlands Partnership NHS Foundation Trust, delivering 1 recovery bucks. The Let's Be Frank podcast was launched in tribute to the memory of long-term Oasis patron and world-renowned cinematographer Frank Hodge, and is recorded in the Frank Hodge Podcast Studio, our new community podcasting facility launched in his honour.